Today's one is going to be all about emptiness. And, well, not all about it, but anyway. And, emptiness, it has filled millions of lines in textbooks, in Buddhist textbooks, Um, but because it's one of the most important kind of viewpoints or ways of looking at things. But I think it'd be nice if I kind of had a go at explaining it properly. So good luck. So I just begin. Got a question. Are dreams real? Some people are saying yes and some people are saying no, you see. I think. Am I right? Hands up everyone who thinks dreams are real. They're certainly real at the time they're happening. So I would agree with that. And but when you wake up, there's something different, You can remember them, Like I had an unpleasant dream this morning, and about somebody, and I woke up kind of feeling annoyed with them, And every time I think of them, I can remember that annoyance. But it was a dream. So in the sense that, when they're happening, they're real, but they're not real because there's nothing of substance that remains, that endures. How am I doing with the people who think that dreams are real? Is that more? Is that a more accurate? They're real at the time that they're happening, but there's nothing that endures, even though you can remember them. So this is a very there's a reason why I'm starting off talking about dreams.
Real but not true. That is.
Yeah, yeah. But also, the dreams are using your mind. Dreams are an expression of your mind. So, next thing then is, are thoughts real? Are thoughts real? This isn't meant to be confusing, by the way. Are thoughts real? Well, they're real while they're happening, right? But does anything of substance endure? You see? So when we're talking about emptiness, we're not talking about an absence. We're talking about a lack of solidity. A slightly more challenging one. Are the situations you encounter real? The situations in life that you encounter, are they real?
Yes.
Who said that?
Sorry, I thought I was...
No, it's fine. It's fine. Bridget, that's great. It's fantastic.
Sorry, I thought I was...
No, you're okay, Jenny. I like that. I really like it. So, isn't it the same thing, that while they're happening, they're definitely there's something definitely happening. But aren't they just like thoughts or, dreams, Don't they actually lack any enduring substance? You can remember them. You can go back into that feeling that you had when you were dreaming, But are they actually real? Are they real? Are they concrete? You see. But this is the point about the emptiness. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
Can I say something, Martin?
Yes, please. Yeah.
It just came to me there while you were like, I totally get what you're saying. It's like, but it's almost like the dreams, the thoughts, the experience. Like, how can I put this now? It's like the content. Well, it's more to do with the thought and the experience. The content is real and true, but my thinking of them is what you said a lovely phrase. It's no lasting endure. Like my thinking around them changes, but the actual fact doesn't. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I do. Yes, exactly. But just the point here is really the fact that it has happened. Do you see? That's a fact. It has happened. I did have that dream. I did feel that way. I had that thought. I had that encounter. You see? Yes, this is. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring it out a little bit more in a minute.
I just want. It just came to me. It's like my thinking around it is what's. It's impermanent. It's my thinking around it's impermanent. But the fact that you did have a dream, the fact that it did happen, is true. It happened.
Yes, exactly. But again, let's see how we get on in a couple of minutes. Okay. So now, normally, when you come across, Mark will know this as well too. Several of you know this. Like when this is discussed in Buddhism, they talk about pillars and vases and tables, But actually, I think that's wrong, because it really doesn't matter how long the table lasts. It's irrelevant. It's experiences that's what's important, not the objects, not the outer objects. Am I making this confusing? Like say, for example, I hope this isn't going on too long.
When you said, Martin, that they talk about tables, chairs, and pillars and stuff, when you start talking about it, they speak of the emptiness of those things. That's what they're talking about. They speak of them as they're empty, because I think people who are not familiar might miss that.
Okay, yeah. And particularly this whole thing about dependently originated, But see, the interesting thing is in the Dzogchen, we don't have a problem with there being things, There's no problem with there being an actual, physical reality. There's no problem with that at all. The whole kind of thing, the whole kind of emphasis in Dzogchen is on mind. Anyway, that was an aside. I don't think that was really good. I don't think that was so worthwhile. Okay, so what really matters are our experiences in life. That's what really matters, And so there's consequences for how we view our experiences, and there's basically just three approaches, according to Martin. There's three approaches. There's the normal one. The normal one is where we grasp onto our experiences as being real. That's how normally we are. Concrete, solid, unchanging. The next one then is said to be worse than the first one. The first one where you take them, everything to be, okay? The second way of being is when we grasp onto our experiences as being irrelevant, as being nothing at all. That's said to be absolutely the worst possible thing. That turns you into where you can work it out yourself, okay? So, and the last one is, this is the authentic thing, which is with experiences, they appear and yet they're empty. They appear and yet they're empty. Empty of what? Empty of substantiality. They are mere appearances. And so here, it's not like you're just rejecting everything. You know, here you have a respect for what's happening. You understand? You respect the display that's happening, but without becoming personally entangled. You see? You respect the display. Without becoming personally entangled. And when I talk about experiences, you know, this covers everything, you know. Friends, enemies, loved ones. These are all experiences. Your experiences are just experiences, appearing, yet lacking any enduring reality. You mightn't like this. You know, you might like to think, oh, you know, my relationship continues forever. You know, my loved one will always be there. My children won't grow up. Am I covering some of the bases with some of you here? I'll get my own back on that effort at work. Lacks any enduring reality. But when you recognize this, when you really know this, not as a theory, when you look into your own experience and you see this, when you discover this for yourself, you know, what happens? All your struggle collapses. Well, not all your struggle, but let's say a lot, most. If you really recognize it, I think all your struggle collapses. But and so you find yourself alone. You're just alone. This is different from lonely, by the way. You're just alone, just with yourself. Just there breathing. You know. There's this flow of experiences that aren't blocked by judging. A flow of experiences unblocked by judging. And yet, you know, this habit of solidifying, it's so strong. It's very, very deep, you know. We've lived in a world where that's always the case. And so taking it to be real, prevents us from simply being unentangled, abiding in this free and open natural state, actual natural state. And so because our habit is so strong, it can really help to place your attention lightly on your breath. So, do you notice, we'll just do this for a moment or two, do you notice that when you breathe out, there's like something relaxes? Just try to feel that. Breathe through your mouth. It's more effective when you breathe through your mouth. Now, you're not forcing a relaxation. There's a kind of like an ease, a letting go. And as you breathe naturally like this, it naturally becomes slower. Not because you're making it slow, because you're less on edge. You're more at ease. It naturally slows. So again, through your mouth, remember. And particularly notice that there's a natural pause at the end of breathing out. Just before you breathe in again. Very natural. You breathe out. You breathe in. But just at that point, there's a little pause. Now, this isn't like ordinary meditation, because there's no trance state here. You're 100% awake. 100% awake to what's happening. Just present and breathing. You may become so relaxed that that point between the out-breath and the in-breath, you can just remain there in this very spacious, open feeling. Or not. So it's really important here not to try to create what's natural. This is about something natural. Now when you rest like this, don't try to hold on to it. Because you will lose it at some point. And when you can, when you notice you lost it, you don't actually have to do this breathing method again. You can just simply return to the ease. Freedom. You know, um, this is related to. Let me say it now. Okay, so you know, in living an ordinary life, that what I have found is that sometimes to not engage with somebody who's lost in fixation is the best. You know, somebody who's lost. You know, they're and because you know, somebody who's even maybe a little bit disturbed, you know, not feeling, you know, and to actually say nothing, you know, not to add fuel to their fire. And particularly notice this with crazy people, you know. It's best not to actually engage in their, you know, because if you don't, you know, after a while, it starts to burn out. You know, there's no fuel. And what's more important than words, exchanging words with somebody like that, is how you are. It's where you're coming from, how you are. That's more important than words. Because subliminally, you communicate something. The fire abates. And this isn't actually about a different crazy person other than yourself. You know, you're sitting there, you've got your breath, you know, you're at ease, you know, and this best not to say anything. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Best just to leave unaltered. You know? In the words of Sonia Rinpoche, whatever. Okay, so there we go.